third pillar, 10-step thinking. So I'm a person that just thinks so far ahead. So far ahead it probably scares the hell out of my girlfriend Grace all the time, but that's okay. The 10-step thinking. I just want to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, and how I'm going to do it. So we all start here, and they're trying to say, okay, we've got a 9-week goal. We're going to start from here, and we're going to get to there. We've all got a picture in our mind, okay? And what I see a lot of people is they're sitting in this red zone where they're just like, oh my god, I just got to focus to this point, and then I'm free. I just got to focus to this point, and then I'm free. So what happens if you fail? You virtually built yourself right up. You've got all these expectations. They're skyrocketing through the roof. And it's so often I see, okay, I'm just going to eat very strictly, and I'm normally eating this, but now I'm going to start eating this. Okay, that's going to go straight out the door as opposed to gelling it together, and I'm going to jump in and do 5 hours of cardio a week, and I've never done anything beforehand. Yeah? And then you have a bad week. And maybe it doesn't happen. Or maybe you have a slip up, you have a binge. You know, Friday night you have a meal, which goes to Saturday, which goes to Sunday. You know, and the whole time you're saying, I'll be good Monday, and I'll get back into it Monday. You just keep going. You know, because you're so scared of that phase. So I think so many people in that box. Has anyone ever felt like they're in that box? Yeah? Hands up high. Yeah, awesome. I love the honesty. Thanks, guys. Okay? So a lot of time you're feeling quite compacted. How else might we be feeling? Stressed. Voice it out, guys.
On edge.
On edge.
Under pressure.
Under pressure.
Restricted.
Restricted.
Pressure.
More unhappy.
Yeah. Why would you be unhappy?
Because it's not, you feel as though you're doing all that work and it's not working. You focus on doing all that work and then it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen the way it should happen, apparently.
Yeah, okay. And another way I would take that as well is I'm so unhappy because this is my lifestyle and now I'm in this box. And I've got to do this for a certain duration. I'm restricted. I can't go out with my friends because I'm going to crack and have a drink. You know, so I'm just going to stay at home and you're restricting yourself. Yeah? So what I want to really focus on today is how we're going to get that balance of lifestyle. You know, so you're gelling things together. If you've gone from eating this, why the hell would you go, you know, just get rid of that? You've got to gel the two together. You know, have those slow changes. Because fast is slow and slow is fast. In the sense of, you just jump straight on board, get into that, you have a fast result, but then you go back to those old ways. You haven't had enough time to make that emotional change or emotional adjustment. So in turn, you're going to go back and forth. So I guess hands up if you yourself or you've known of someone who's dropped the weight, you've given a high five, big claps, and then they put the weight back on. Yeah. So that's the process that generally happens there. Okay? A few of the things I wrote there: strained, nervous. Nervous in the sense of, as I said before, you know, you might be going out and you're just like, oh, when am I going to crack? It's going to happen, oh my god, when's it going to happen? You know? On a diet, you know, people say, oh, I'm not going to go see her, she's on a diet, I don't want to eat those foods. Silly. You know, so you feel like you're being judged. Guilty. Moody. And when the hell is this over? Okay? So, how can we shuffle this around to make it more of a lifestyle change? So you got a start, alright? Little goals along the way. Alright, we need that momentum. We need to get that potential, actions, results, and belief. Okay? So which one do you think we should focus on first?
Starting.
I said,
First small attainable goal.
Yep.
You know, start small and work up.
The eat an elephant approach.
What?
How do you eat
Yeah.
What a trunk.
Yep, a little bit. So what I'd say is let's start with the end in mind.
One
Okay?
mouthful at a
You've
time.
got to work out what you aim for.
That's how you eat an
Yeah.
elephant, one mouthful at a time.
Work out
Eat the whole elephant.
Because-
Have a little
so what-
bit at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So both of those points there, okay, you've got to work a little bit at a time. What I'd say first is when you've only got that one goal, you're in that box. Okay, you're only working towards that end box. Then what the hell are you going to do after? You're going to go back to how it was beforehand? You know? So that's why I'd say think with the end in mind. Okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to do way down the track? And then you start working back. Because that big other boom over there is just going to drive that momentum, drive that force right through. Great example is a lot of you might know Marie Raywood, and she started off 161.4 kilos. So in January 2011, she was just under 100, and I sent her a text saying, hey, guess what, you're going to run a half marathon with me in July. You can imagine her response. She couldn't run more than 2 Ks. So she's going, how the friggin' hell would I run 21 Ks? Where was she living? Which box? Yeah, so she was thinking in the moment, thinking in the now, just going, no, that's not possible. But I'm going, oh, no, 7 months away. It's possible. We're going to make it possible. So what that allowed us is to put her under the pump and go, okay, I really need to focus. I need to do some events beforehand so I can trial and measure, you know? And okay, I want to run 10 Ks non-stop. Oh, it didn't really happen, but now you know. So now you can work on it. Now you can work towards it. Yeah, so think with the end in mind so we can work towards it. And that made her lose about another 15, almost 20 kilos before the actual half marathon. You know, so she wasn't thinking in that zone just yet. But putting her under the pump made her lose that weight, which enabled her to actually run that 21 Ks. It's fantastic. So this is essentially what it's going to look like, you know. So you've got all these driving forces. You start here, there's a little box, but as it keeps going, as you start achieving things, as I guess your belief starts increasing and going through the roof, the doors start opening. And you start seeing, you know, there's a lifestyle that's going to be created. So how do you think you'd feel at that stage? You know? Shout some words out. How do you think you might be feeling when I guess the potential...
Stimulated.
Stimulated, yeah?
Motivated to keep going.
Motivated to keep going. Comfortable? Excited? Excited to embrace the future? What else?
I think you should be proud of yourself that you come up.
Yep. So acknowledge what you've done. Acknowledge the efforts you've put in.
Empowered.
Empowered?
Awesome.
2 more. 2 more.
Awesome.
Awesome. 1 more.
Boom.
Boom.
Well said. So write down, you'll be ready. I'm ready to go. No, that's meant to be changed. That was copied from the last line, but that's boom. Feel amazing. This is great. I know what I'm doing. Okay, you feel quite special because you've achieved something for yourself. Because a lot of the time we focus on other people. Who's done that? Who's had kids focus on the family so much, you know?
Okay.
And then it's got to a point you go, you know what? It's now my turn. My turn to focus on me. Yeah, that's great. So. And in order for us to, it's interesting, you know, you care so much about other people, you go, no, I'm just going to focus on them all the time. But then you start resenting the things you're doing for them, resenting that person themselves because they're taking time away from what you want, or you're unhappy. You know? So before you can actually positively impact someone else, or positively affect someone else, you've got to be happy yourself. Yeah? So just imagine if, like the trainers come in, I always say to them, you know, you guys need to be on top form, on top game, and everything outside needs to be all happy for you as well. And that's why we provide a lot of support to them, and we have meetings with them every single week. So we are providing support, because otherwise, if they're not happy, how can they pass that happiness on to you? How can they pass that support on? You know, same thing as well. When you go home to your families, obviously your kids or your husband or your wife want that support. But if you're not happy, how can you provide it to someone else? How can you tell someone to be happy if you're just like, be happy right now? It's not possible. A little bit off track, but okay. You'll be inspired to keep going, motivated, and unbelievable. Awesome. So focus. Just read this in a book a couple of days ago. So focus one course until successful. Until successful. In the sense that, you know, a lot of us put our hands up before. We lost weight, we put it back on. We lost weight, put it back on. Think you're focused?
Only on the diet.
You're only on the diet. But you weren't focused the whole time because it came back on. Yeah? Okay, so focus is power measured over time. It also means staying successful beyond the goal. So that's where it becomes a lifestyle change. Alright? So when people are focused in a state, when they're saying words like I can't, I'll try, I'll do it tomorrow, maybe, we just got to get that out, hey? So it's interesting, I had a cardio session with Wendy on Friday. Yeah, I'm bringing it up. So I had her on the treadmill. And I said 500 metres, just going to run 500 metres and do that. So we're running, started on 12, slowly increasing, just had these amazing strides, the knees right up, fully, you know, extending, and she was getting tired, but she still had more in her. Then she's going, Nathan, slow it down, no, and she started backing off a little bit, so I pumped it down. We got off, finished the 500 metres, I said, what happened there? I can't do it, I thought I was going to fall off. I said, what do you mean? I remember when that person told me to get in the treadmill and run for the first time. And that was Rana, her first initial trainer. I said, well, you're reliving in the past then, aren't you? You know, so of course, if you're 30 kilos overweight, it's going to be a struggle. You know, so what she was holding on to there was that little I can't business. And that was the little past thing. You hadn't acknowledged that. You haven't acknowledged where you've come from or what you've done. Because she'd run faster than that. So we got to 13.5. And I said, that's it. That's a speed, 13.5 speed. You think that's fast? Wait until you hear what she got to. So I said, okay, we're doing 500 metres again. All right, it is possible. Because you've got the strength, you've got the cardiovascular fitness, you've got the strides. It's 500 metres. All you need to picture is, at the end of 500 metres, I stop and I rest. It's not like we're just going to keep